Fumble fans, I'm Britt Johnson. I'm here with Chris Clark and Ty Savage. What's up, guys?
What's poppin'?
We're all here again. We survived.
Guys,
surprisingly.
one last time.
Outdated.
One last time. This is the last time I can wear this before he's officially wearing a Saints jersey.
It feels
But
good.
congrats
it
to
feels good.
Des,
Like it feels
because
good that I can do this, you know, because he's
throw up
always
the
like,
X,
yeah,
it's
we
the
can
best.
throw up the X, like it's great.
Anyway, so let's talk about my boy Floyd Mayweather, because we were all the craze this week because he was supposed to be fighting Tenshin Nasukawa on New Year's Eve in Japan, and he releases this statement this week. Let me read the beginning of this message to you guys. Now that I am back on U.S. soil after a long and disappointing trip to Tokyo, I now have the time to address you, my fans, and the media in regard to the upcoming event on December 31st that was recently announced. First and foremost, I want to be clear that I, Floyd Mayweather, never agreed to an official bout with Tenshin Nasukawa. Can I ask what a press conference means? And isn't that like announcing officially that I am going to fight this man? Like, what was the point of the press conference then? You're on camera saying that you were going to be fighting this guy.
Yeah.
What is he talking about? I love Floyd Mayweather, but like, did you not read the contract before? Did you not know when you sat there that you were like, hey, I'm announcing in this moment that I'm going to be playing or fighting this guy on this date? Or did he see his highlights after and say,
Right.
never mind, never mind.
Right,
Can I
right.
What had happened was,
Okay, you know, I'm just gonna jump in right now
Do it.
because here's the thing. This is Floyd Mayweather. He finessed a deal with the UFC and it was all his rules. He knew exactly what he was and was not getting into, and there's something really fishy. Like, just own it, or
I'm trying so hard to play devil's advocate here and try to like,
okay,
you know,
play devil's advocate.
I can't.
Exactly.
I can't, because it's just like, I know Floyd is outlandish sometimes. Floyd does, you know, he plays by his own rules, but I don't understand how you can go over there, like you said, run a press conference, say everything you said, pose with the man, pose with the damn leader of the federation, and then come back saying, like, no, I never agreed to that. That ain't a real fight. That was just for, like, I don't know. I think he saw that the kid was 20 years old, saw his highlights, saw that he's pretty good. I don't know, man. I can't even defend Floyd on this.
Well, and there were so many differences. Like, first of all, Floyd is 41. He's 20 years old, so the kid is literally half his age. Secondly, Nasukawa is only 125 pounds. Floyd's 150. So definitely there's going to have to become some huge agreement in like where they're going to meet in the weight. And we're like less than 2 months from this fight happening. So I don't know if but I can't imagine Floyd not thinking of all this stuff in advance. That's why I'm so confused.
It's confusing.
Why this happened.
It's one thing to come out
and was he scared, like, now that I'm back on U.S. soil? What, were they holding a
like
gun to your head
like
saying, you have to say you're going to fight this guy?
What is the truth?
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's one thing to back out of the fight because of those things, but then to say that he never planned to fight him is like, it's just so outlandish, so weird, and so all over the place.
This was like literally the craziest thing to get this guy some followers on social media. If that's what this was.
Right, and if that's the case, then Floyd's the ultimate homie.
A lot of us hadn't heard of him before that.
I mean, if that's the case, Floyd is the ultimate homie in that case.
But it
like,
makes him look bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes him look real bad because there's something fishy. We don't know what's going on. 50 Cent is now taking jabs saying that he's low on cash and he's asking questions we all want to know. What's going on?
50's boy, man. 50 loves Floyd.
He
man.
loves it.
Let's move on to the NBA because this fighting boxing world is kind of going
If you guys
crazy.
know something, let us know.
Please let us know.
Please.
Tell us. Money team, I know y'all are out there watching this video.
Or maybe his opponent's team could tell us something, like call us.
Tension.
We'll do the
You got something, let us know,
Yeah.
bro.
Come on the Fumble. Come on the
exclusive.
Fumble.
Come on down,
join
man.
us.
Please.
Yes.
We could get you some followers.
Right.
So, you know who people are really excited about right now? Derrick Rose.
Yes.
The guy was drafted first overall in 2008. He was Rookie of the Year. 2011, he gets MVP of the NBA. During the playoffs, he tears his ACL, and then we go downhill from there. We haven't seen a great Derrick Rose. Sorry.
That's how you know.
Derrick Rose. Sorry,
That's
bro.
how you know.
I haven't said your name in a long time.
Yeah, exactly. That's how
But
you know.
he gets 50 points against Utah Jazz. He gets 31 points this week against the Lakers. Is he back, you guys?
It sure looks like it, and I'm happy for him. That was one of the saddest injuries ever because he was on track to be one of the greatest players ever.
Absolutely.
We all loved him. Everyone was rooting for him, even if you weren't a Bulls fan. Like, you just were rooting for him. And to see him go down like
And
that.
the Bulls were back. They were #1 seed, and everyone was
Holding
kind
it
of
down without
yeah.
It seemed like he was made of glass for a minute. And by the way, no, I don't even want to get into it with his fans because y'all are crazy, but I love you for it. But to see someone like him recover who has recovered from that injury?
Because
You don't recover from that. And he has, and he is. I love it.
Because it happened multiple times, and he's had multiple injuries. So it's like that was the start of it, but then it just kept coming, kept piling on ankles, quads, all kinds of things that was going on with his legs because of the way he plays. And to see him revamp his game. Now he's a shooter on top of everything else. It's great to see. I want to sit here and be like, maybe he's going to be a good bench guy. No, Derrick Rose is back.
Yeah,
I'm with it.
yeah.
I'm all aboard the Derrick Rose train. I mean, maybe he's obviously going to have to take games off this season because he's not that same, young Derrick Rose, but at the same time,
Of course, you had to just dip the
So,
enthusiasm.
I'm being realistic, but I'm with it. Derrick Rose is back.
He came out and he was talking about, I just think it's an opportunity. And I'm going to tell you guys something. A lot of people don't know this. I interviewed Terrell Owens a couple years ago, right? And we actually talked about Derrick Rose because at that time he had suffered yet another injury. Terrell Owens came out and said that the Bulls had hired somebody as their head of, athletic training or conditioning or whatever for the team. And Terrell had previously worked with this woman, and he said, because Terrell also was the king of, jumping back after injuries,
100%.
And he originally went and saw this woman, and this woman was terrible, and he said that woman was the reason why Derrick Rose kept having his injuries and not fully healing because that lady didn't really know what she was doing.
Say her
and
name,
they were.
Brett.
I actually didn't know her name.
I was ready.
Terrell said the name in the
Name drop
show.
now.
I actually should look it up, but he said her name and everything. He wanted everybody to know that she was the reason why he wasn't healing like he should and getting back on the court
That's
like
crazy.
he should. And it's interesting that he leaves the Bulls. He spends a year with the, and then comes and now he's back at it. So maybe it did have to do with how he was being, how he was going through conditioning and stuff. Because even me getting I had surgery one time on my wrist and I literally still have issues with it. But I know if I would have had these elite, trainers and people helping me out, I would have been fine.
For sure.
A side note, I feel like it wouldn't have been, I wouldn't be myself if I didn't take the time to point out the fact that Derrick Rose really started this comeback when he
With the Knicks?
The Knicks.
Oh, God.
18.1 points per game after suffering some terrible seasons. We made the trade. We gave him the confidence. He had multiple double-doubles with us. I'm not saying he's been back. I'm just saying that we
saw a glimpse of it.
We saw the glimpses of the possibility that he could do this if he was under the right system. And then he goes to Cleveland, and then that whole debacle was a mess. But then he goes back to Timberwolves. He thought maybe, and now we're seeing it this year. And I'm all aboard. I want to see Derrick Rose end this season. Maybe not an All-Star, but averaging 20 points a game.
Maybe we can get him as a most improved player.
I'll take it.
I think that would be
Keep
great.
him on the bench. Give him a 6-man. I would love it. I would love all this stuff. I want all the awards.
Well, there's another guy that we are going to be watching very closely the rest of this year. LaMelo Ball came out and announced that he is back in high school. He's going to Spear Academy in Geneva, Ohio. I'm excited. He's going to have his senior year. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this is actually going to help improve his NBA chances? Being drafted higher. His coach, Jermaine Jackson, came out and said that he will be the #1 overall pick in the NBA draft. I don't know about that. What do you guys think?
I'm so happy he went back to high school. I thought it was a bad move to take him out because you just kind of need that experience, I think, to mature and to be taken. I'm sorry. I think so. I think everyone should finish high school.
Yes, everyone get your diploma, please.
Please.
Yeah, 100%.
If you can, please, But I am confused why not only him, but him and Gelo have been removed from the JBA. What does that say about the JBA?
That's.
What does that say?
Because now, Gelo's going to the G League, or he's trying
to go to the G League.
Going to G League. He has actually been getting some interest, but that's a hot topic for later on. But to go back to Melo, to go back to God no. To go back to Melo, I like it. My only problem is you go and you're playing against these men, right? And now you're coming back to play against kids, and because we're gonna see it more, that's gonna raise his stock. I don't necessarily agree with that, because I feel like just because he was playing in Lithuania, yes, you can't really gauge the talent of some of the guys that he's playing, and that's why it's hard for you to put Melo in the lottery or put blah 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 blah. But now he's playing against kids his age. All of a sudden, he's more what's it called? He's better. He can rise the ranks. He can be
for sure.
I don't know.
I disagree
I have
with
a hard
that,
time
because
with
I
that.
feel like here, like, I mean, the JBA league, I'm sorry, those kids are not the level of some of these high school kids that are going to be, one and dones in a year, playing in college or whatever, or now the G League. But in Lithuania, you're not getting top tier players like you're getting here in the United States. That's why everybody comes here to play. Like, that's why Ben Simmons left Australia and came here in high school to play and then go to LSU, because you're playing against they can play pro somewhere else or do whatever, but like, you're not, I don't care if they're grown men, like you and Zion, you're a grown man. Zion is not. He is a better basketball player than you. So it doesn't matter that you're a grown man or not.
Yeah, but I didn't play in the NBA.
But those grown men
I'm talking about
playing
the men
professionally.
I'm talking about the men that LaMelo played were guys that were once in the NBA. Most of them weren't, but he's played against NBA talent, and he outplayed them, and there's a reason why they're not in the NBA.
I know, but when it's coming to the NBA and the draft, they need something to compare it to, and what they need to compare it to is his class. Like last year, he was 7th. He was ranked 7th among the 2019 draft class, and I think he needs to be in there and be able to be judged based off the talent that's currently out there. You can't have him going against and playing with people that literally have nothing to do with the NBA or the future of the NBA, because you technically can't. You can have stats and 81-point games and all this crazy stuff all you want, but that doesn't matter at the end of the day. It matters, like, can you be the best against the guys that you're going to have to go against in that certain time frame. Because all these guys are going to be entering the NBA together. They're all going to be doing all this stuff at the same time.
I'm going to get my brain checked after this, because I actually agree with Chris. Like, even though it's not the NBA, no, I really am going to see a specialist. Even though it's not the NBA per se in Lithuania, it's still professional, and it's still above the level that who he's going to be playing against in high school. He's experienced a much higher level, so I do think he's going to be a way more developed player. But I also don't really think it's necessarily completely unfair. I mean, is he going to shine more?
Yes.
He better.
Yes.
Otherwise, all of that was for no good. But I do.
Where's he
I
going
don't
to
even want to say it again. I'll say
highlights?
The question here, does him being back in high school help his chances to be in the NBA?
Probably.
Yeah, in the black and white, because it's the traditional way, so yes, it's going to because of that. But to me, it doesn't make him more of a, I don't know, he doesn't seem more of a better player now because he's playing against his peers, and all of a sudden now he should go from 7 or 8 to now number 1, number 2, because he's playing against his peers.
Next year, would you recommend, obviously he cannot go to college, he's waived his right to do that because he played pro. So do you see him doing now the G League allows that. So do you see G League, or do you see him going overseas again for one more year and then going to the NBA?
Especially if everything goes well with Gelo, which I expect it will. I think he's going to go to G League as well.
I don't make predictions with the Ball family anymore, because
because you never know. That's true.
Out of me way too many times. I don't know. There could be a new LeVar League next year. I don't make predictions when it comes to that family anymore. I don't know.
But black and white, I'm agreeing with that. Okay. But at the same time, I know, right? But at the same time, I do. Right now, I'm gonna say yes. They're gonna both be in there. It's gonna be, I don't know. He's obviously gonna be making top money. He's actually gonna be able to make some money this time. Melo, finessing, getting no paychecks throughout the entire time he's going to JBA in Lithuania. That's crazy to me.
Let's move on to my favorite time of the day. Honorable mentions. Let's start with Ty. What you got for us?
I'm going to go ahead and honorable mention Karl Anthony Towns for taking another fat
He
L.
tried. He tried. And it's funny because how old is Tyson Chandler now? Like 33, 34?
Which is
Yeah, he's
255
33,
in basketball years.
Old man strength,
yikes.
man. Old man strength.
Hey, but Tyson's like a solid guy,
Tyson
you know?
Chandler,
Like
man.
I actually like interviewed him a couple times. He's like probably one of my favorites. He's very, very nice man.
Yeah,
So
Well, he wasn't so
Ex-Knicks,
nice
so-
last night. He wasn't so nice last night.
Lakers just love signing ex-Knicks. Anyways, back to me.
Okay, and who's your? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take this up after this.
My honorable mention is going to the QB, the MVP possibly. I'm going with Drew Brees. He's, we just made a big signing. He's working out with the kids, getting it ready, making those short passes, getting the ball, working out with the
But we
little
go
ones.
along with Dez. We going all the way back with Dez. You don't need to work on them short passes.
Well, I just
We
need to make
good.
sure Dez catches the ball. But anyways, working out with his kids, he got
It was
doing
a
drills like
catch.
this.
Yeah, that was cool. And he in his little message, he's like, "My wife must hate me because
Oh, yeah.
they got him all ready
The
for bed and
furniture.
stuff, and then I'm getting them all crazy again."
And
But
then
Dad. I mean, how cool! Your dad's like one of the greatest quarterbacks, and he comes home, and then you just get to throw balls and stuff with your dad.
But there was some mechanics to some of those throws too, man. Drew getting ready, man. Every opportunity,
He's making
man.
a bunch of little receivers, though.
Yes. It's like a Rocky moment right there. Sorry.
All right, my honorable mention is going to go to this young fella right now who might be the next big back in the NFL.
You better not score. You better not score. You better not score. Still ain't get it done.
So that kid is legit good. I don't even know what to say. He's running these routes. He's it's flag football, but
yeah,
still.
that was my. I see it.
I feel like as a running back, flag football is
True.
more difficult because you can just run. You don't have to actually get them.
Yeah.
You can just whatever, and they're
the
cutting
flag,
through the
yeah,
flags,
yeah.
whatever. So
Sure, to bring them down by
technically, as a
contact.
running back, flag football would be more
I'll
difficult.
give you that. All right, you say
So,
that.
you got it, kid. We'll see you in I don't know, 10, 12 years.
Check your watch.
Yep. 10, 12 years, we'll see him on an NFL field for sure. Well, that is going to do it for the Weekend Zone. I'm Britt Johnson. I'm here with Chris Clark, Ty Savage. Before we go, we are all from Los Angeles, so we want to send condolences to all the victims that lost their lives in the Thousand Oaks shooting. See you guys soon. Thank you.